Hey, this is Dan McDonald, and I'm the Life Regenerator here on the YouTube. Thank you for joining me for today's very special episode of the Life Regenerator Show. Let me see here. Check it out. This is how we roll. Ooh, look at that guy. What's up, baby? Today is actually the 6-year anniversary of the Life Regenerator Show, believe it or not. 6 years ago today, I can't remember what I was doing, coconut cucumber juice outside the RV, and then it just snowballed from there. And now I'm just making a video real quick to celebrate that and thank you. I've been on hiatus lately, and for those of you who have ever embarked upon any type of spiritual journey, you know there's times in that journey when you're being called inward. And today, the last couple of days I spent in silence in the woods, and I was just like, oh my God, if I didn't have these things to go do, I'd never leave, at least for a while. So I'm gonna go finish up all my responsibilities, and then I'm gonna make some time, because I used to not be able to sit in the woods by myself for long periods of time, but now I love it because it allows me to really discover what's going on inside. And it really is that inward journey that has gotten me stoked. You know, it is inside of you. When they say, I don't know, I can't really say for you, but I can say for myself, when they say whoever said this, we all know who said it, but the kingdom of heaven is within you. Seek ye first. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And the only thing that keeps coming to my mind is, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these other things will be added unto you. Because if I start thinking about what I want, it's like, do I really want that? Why do I want that anyways? Well, then it'll make me happy. Then I'm like, well, why don't you just go straight to the source of happiness and just be happy? And then you start going, well, I should be happy. But then what you do is you become aware of the loops and the tapes that you've been playing from the day one, before you were even able to cognizantly be conscious of the fact that your brain was getting programmed into your little amygdala when you were in like a theta state. You're like a little kid, and you're like, and your parents were like, this is this, this is this, this is religion, this is education, this is our parenting style, this is our relationship style, this is, all these different things were modeled, and your brain just absorbed it. And now you're looking through the eyes of the perception of the subconscious mind, and you're like a mess, because the world doesn't really do happiness. They don't do joy. They don't do bliss. It's there in every neuron in your brain, the capability and the possibility. It's programmed into your DNA, but without the proper sequences and without the proper impetus or stimulus, then those neurochemicals and hormones and neurotransmitters can't be produced. So we're either walking around in like a moderately depressed state, using pleasure like pizza or food or drugs or sex or relationships or gambling or adrenaline or sports as crutches. And that's like pleasure, but that's just like a shadow. And that's not real pleasantness or joy or bliss, which can be created from an internal combustion. But the mind must be renewed, and you will be made new again. And so I'm just getting started on the renewal of the brain, mind, emotion, body complex feedback loop system, which, oh man, some of you have it better than others. Some of you are more like, oh, I'm cool, I don't trip. Some people are more depressed. Some people are more anxious and fearful, and just depends. But either way, wherever we're at, I believe at this point, at least I got to have faith in it, that that inward journey the inner engineering, the renewing of the mind, the restructuring, the reprogramming, whatever you want to call it, of the brain, which can start the process of regenerating the feedback loop, which basically, you know, your body is just a series of programs. So your body becomes your subconscious program, personality, persona, and you just kind of get stuck in a rut, you know? And then when you want to start changing things like your finances or your health or any other area of your life, you've got all these feedback loops that have played so many times over and over again that you're like a robot. And then when you go to consciously change, you have a little bit of power, but without the ability to change it at a subconscious level through massive repetition, powerful practice, envisioning and going over the scenario in your mind. It's a lot more than this video is I want to share, because one of these days, as I master it within myself, I'll share more and more about how I'm doing it anyways, so that I can, because it is working slowly but surely. I'm making some progress, at least gathering the data so that I can begin the process of practicing it on a smaller scale and beginning to change some of the feedback loops so that the different sequences within the genes and the DNA can be expressed. Epigenetics, if anybody knows about that, it's not, there's no hardwiring bullcrap. You don't have to get cancer. If you do the things that, you know, express the cancer gene, well then, and you get cancer, it's not, cancer didn't attack you. You just had the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions and the lifestyle habits that expressed that gene. And sometimes by the time someone gets cancer, they're so stuck in that feedback loop that by the time someone says, well, you need to change your attitude, you need to change your diet, you need to change your outlook, and you need to deal with the trauma that you dealt with when you were a 4-year-old kid, you know, when you got whatever, molested or abused or attacked or traumatized or lost your mom or whatever it was, you know, your dog died and it just traumatized you and left a scar and you could never deal with it, and that just, it blocked, it occluded the energy. I mean, holistic healing is the DTM way, a real way. It's the only way. It's like, it's not, some of us are going to be more simple, you know. Some people just need to eat some more carbs and everything's fine. Some of the rest of us, though, we have more, you know, we have more, you need to bring more intelligence to it than that. And we need to bring more powerful tools that we can use to recreate, because most of us are stuck in an unconscious rut and we're not getting anywhere. And I know about that, and I have compassion for you, and I'm going to do everything I can. It's all I've ever wanted to do. This is the only thing I've got right now sometimes, are a few little mantras, and one of them is that I'm here to help people heal from disease. I'm here to help people heal from disease as I go through my own feedback loops of self-worth. I'm sitting there meditating, realizing that I've never let anybody love me. At a certain point in my life, you know, there was a decision that was made by a very young person that I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, and that feedback loop played over and over again and created scenarios everywhere I turned and everywhere I went and everywhere I looked that made that seem like it was the reality. And yet I've got people that are amazing people in my life telling me that they love me, but it doesn't matter how much they love you if you have a mechanism and a stone wall that doesn't let that in. It's it, man. So the awareness of I'm not worthy of love blockade becomes, you know, this first step. And then whatever needs to be disassembled or regenerated or renewed, or whatever pathways need to be rebuilt at the level of the subconscious, or the coherency of the left and the right hemispheres through prolonged meditation in silence in the woods, surrounded by nature, and no stinking the radio frequency waves. Because when I was out in the woods, I was like, holy crap, I'm clear as a bell here. You know, Dan, you're supposed to be on the path of the way, and don't let anything distract you, my brother. And share with the people when you can, and make sure your child support gets paid. That's basically it. If I didn't have to have the child support and be there for my children, that's really what it is. You know, I love my peeps and everybody else, but I don't really owe anybody anything except my 2 kids. So I'm going to raise them up and do what I got to do, but then when it comes time, I want to sit in the woods and go into those prolonged periods of meditation so that I can restructure and reconfigure, because when the left and the right hemispheres become coherent, that's when you can start making some magic happen, and early in the morning, later in the evening, or out in the nature when the sounds are just right and there's none of the frequencies and radio waves passing through by the cell towers and stuff like that. So anyways, 6 years on YouTube, it's been pretty cool. You know, it's been pretty cool. It's been a wild ride, man. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, man. I've never seen anything more crazy than a YouTube show like this. And it's about to get wild, baby, because I got some plans. But the DTM, after 6 years straight, I know I've been chilling more lately. You haven't seen that many videos. Insiders Club, YouTube, I've been chilling. Because I went balls to the wall, 100% for almost pretty much 6 years, you know, with some few breaks in between there when things got really nutso on this place. Dan McDonald sells desiccated chicken beaks, and it's like, what? And my little deal, that the self-worth and all that, I don't like the criticism, man. But drew that to me, though, from the unconscious. So that's what I'm saying. We're responsible because we're drawing it to us from the unconscious, the subconscious programs. And then you attract all this craziness into your vibe, man. So, into your field, and to prove to you your own subconscious thoughts. Can be done. It will be done, because when the dedication is 100% and the devotion is 100% and the persistence is 100%, it doesn't matter. I'm an Aries male, and nothing stops me. Okay, I will, you know, I'm willing to perish to stay upon the razor's edge. I will fall over dead before I stop climbing to the top of the mountain. That's just how I roll. It's how I've always been. It may seem a little bit extreme, but without that longing, you have to want it more than life itself in order to really break through those barriers. So I just keep on cultivating that longing for truth, longing for freedom, longing for truth, the truth that lies within, the treasure, the inward journey, the kingdom of heaven. You know, it has a million names. I just have my little religious upbringing, and I just call it that, out of the simplicity. The kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of all creation, your infinite place, your center of infinite power, where you can pull from that resource and you can ask any question and the answer is right there, and you are capable of being receptive to whatever answers that you need and becoming a channel for the divine intelligence and spreading that upon the earth. Imagine if everybody was doing that, what kind of earth this would be. Can you dig it, baby? I know you can. It is Dan the Man with the master plan. And I'm going to honor myself and not feel obligated, but I do love to make videos and that type of thing, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, because I have a lot of words, and I guess people say they like my heart. Ran into a couple people today out there at the hot springs, you know. I just love my heart, man. I'm just like, okay, I just... Anyways. God bless you, for real. Peace.